Mountains of Maramureş, one of the remotest corners of the European Union. Visiting this region is like walking into a fairy tale or stepping back into medieval Europe. But before we dive into the unspoiled pastures and forests, let's start this journey from the very beginning. We have left Poland June 2nd, time when Europe was coming out of the third COVID lockdown. The regulations required us to cross Slovakia and Hungary without unnecessary stops, so we had to reach Romania on the same day. Getting into Hungary was a bit tricky though. We have found two roads blocked on the Hungarian side without any notice, so it took us a bit more time and kilometers to finally reach Romania. We had no luck looking for the first camping spot in Romania as well. The track we have chosen to reach the Laculi Calinesti Lake was closed too. Reversing on this type of road with bushes densely entwining the car was quite a challenge. I was really happy I had the reverse camera installed, as I would be not able to see a thing in the side mirrors. Wandering on the slopes surrounding the lake from the south and looking for some exit to the water, we finally decided to go back to road 197 and after reaching Laculi Calinesti Oas, turn right onto a gravel road that stretches along the southern shore of the lake. After a few hundred meters we found a place with several empty caravans and wooden houses. Near some of them there were makeshift tables with visible traces of cutting fish. It looked like a fishing spot. As it was already before 2 AM and we spent the whole day on the road, we decided to look no farther and spend the first night here. The morning was finally lazy. Breakfast in nature always tastes better. As expected, in the morning the anglers showed up. Amid the whistling of fishing rods and the buzzing of the reels, we slowly ascended our camp and headed towards the first tourist attraction on our list.
We're at Sapanta, a city where you can live on cemetery and eat.
And drink.
Cheers, guys.
Sapanta is a small village on the Maramureş county, near the Ukrainian border. It is home to the Mary Cemetery. The originator and creator of the first tombstone was a local carpenter who began carving them in this form in 1935. Each of the tombstones has a similar character. The tombstone cross is painted in an intense blue color, which even has its own name, the so-called Sapanta blue, and symbolizes hope and freedom. There are also other colors with their own symbolism. Each of the tombstones also contains a very simple carved and painted important scene from the life of the deceased that best characterizes his work or profession. The sculptor decides about the drawing and the text that will appear on the tombstone, but before that he tries to consult with the family so that the content best describes the deceased. Among the graves stands the Church of Assumption, built in 1886, replacing the old oak one destroyed by fire on Easter 1880. 2007, extensive restoration works were carried out. It was about a visual and architectural intervention to connect the church with the spirit of the Mary Cemetery. On the modernized tower, at a height of 5 meters, a porch was built as a multifunctional space. At the height of 9 meters, a space that will serve as a library, a wooden pavilion was built at a height of 31 meters supporting the tower helmet. Above the single belfry there is only a colorful slender spike of the tower, topped with the cross at a height of about 70 meters. While visiting Romania, you need to try Mama Liga, Romanian cornmeal porridge, ancient meal that began as a peasant food. It's a simple combination of cornmeal, water and butter. This one was also baked with cheese and pieces of fat bacon. It is a real caloric bomb of carbohydrates and fats. Well, it definitely wasn't our taste. We were not able to eat even half of this portion. So finally, shortly after 5 p.m., heavily sluggish and with stuffy stomachs, we set off to explore the mountains of Maramureş County. When planning this trip, I used waypoints that I had saved on my computer's hard drive since 2016. I don't remember if I created them myself or downloaded them from somewhere else, but it quickly turned out that the route in some places will not follow the beaten track. Our first waypoint was set in a place that we had no chance to overcome. The track was covered with rocks and it looked like it had become impassable a few years ago. Turning back in such places is not easy, so it took a while before we headed the other way. Heading south from Sapanta, we have passed Sapința waterfall, hidden between the woods of the Gutun Mountains. This is mountain range of the inner eastern Carpathians, situated at the western and southern limit of Maramureș lands. They are the oldest sector of the volcanic range in eastern Carpathians. Initially, we traveled mainly forest routes. The ground, although wet in many places, was dense, and we covered all kinds of palos without any problems. After a few kilometers of the route that runs mostly through the forest, we have entered a wide open space situated in the middle of the Gutun Mountains. Villa jumped behind the wheel and played a bit with Sandy while I was having fun with my camera and drone. Also, it was a perfect time to let our dog Kira to stretch its legs and have some fun running. After a few long days in the car when we were mostly driving, it was clearly seen how lucky she was chasing for the car. As it was getting late and the area was perfect for a night stay, we started to look for a best spot. Turn off the gravel road in the direction of the stream floating lazy through the wide valley. We ran a few deeper ruts, crossed a shallow ford, and after a few minutes of searching for a relatively flat and even surface somewhere close to the stream, we set up camp in the place we liked the most, away from the tourist crowds. There's always a beautiful moment on such trips when you do not set an alarm clock. You are not waiting for any call. All you want to do after waking up is to have a decent breakfast while enjoying the views not disturbed by anything or anyone. A proper meal in the morning is a must. You not only eat less during the rest of the day, but also keep your metabolism fired up. And there is no better feeling than this one when the only sound you can hear is a rushing stream that divides one meadow from the other with sharp bends. Yes, it's the water from this very stream that filled the coffee maker first and then our senses. Because when you drink such coffee in a place like this and in such company, you just want to simply lay down on the ground and roll happily in the grass. So you can later, a bit lazily, but with great curiosity, move ahead. And that was just one sip of a coffee. In the next episode, we will see the world from a slightly higher perspective, check if the winch works, and expose ourselves to morning sunlight, catching breathtaking views during the magic hour.